is Josh Valencia from Good Break Studios. Be sure to follow at Good Break Studio. Check us out on Facebook. Just look up Good Break Studios. You could follow me, Josh Valencia, or you could follow me on Twitter at CONSAGRADO. Good time, fun follow, I think, so go ahead and get on that. What we're going to do today is that we're going to look at the color module by DIY Recording Equipment in a little bit of a different capacity than we've been doing in the past. We're actually going to use it in parallel, and instead of showing you what I did and running each individual track through it live, that would take an eternity. I went ahead and printed some tracks, blended them in really nice, and I think I got a really good sound with this color module. I did each track individually, and then with the overheads I actually have a stereo pair and matched them to the best of my abilities, and I think we got a pretty decent result. So feel free to go ahead and I'll try to put the tracks out, but I'll have some buttons up on the screen so you could go ahead and flip between things. So let's go ahead and listen to the track, the drums uncolored by themselves, and then we'll go ahead and look at it, blend it in, and then I will go ahead and play them all individually. So let's go ahead and get that started. All right, it's a pretty good sound, mostly comprised of, well, actually completely comprised of SSD samples from the Slate drums. Really good stuff. Steven and his team do a great job getting this thing together, and it sounds incredible. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use color to enhance the sound to make it fit this particular mix a little better. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and toggle when we're listening through this time, and you're going to hear a huge difference. Try to keep in mind the fact that for the overheads, I did choose the colored sound over the natural overhead sound. So you can tell over here in the overhead section that it is a little biased. So you will hear a big level difference. But if you can tame your ears to push that aside, just listen to the quality of the sound, you'll really hear the difference that the color module is doing. So again, taking into account the difference in overhead level, we're able to really hear that the color module, using these settings that I have down here in the comment section of the Pro Tools track. Again, you're going to need HD to see those, but what you're hearing is that everything's really opening up. The snare drum is a little more open, a little brighter. I like the ringiness I'm hearing. For this particular mix, it works. So I want to hear more of that. The toms, they have that extra bit of rumble that, you know, a little bit of saturation gives. The kick, you'll hear I'm actually clipping a little bit, and it just sounds really nice, adding a little bit of tighter low end, and at the same time that beater sound is still there, really present, cutting through the mix nicely. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to step aside, and we're going to go track by track, and you'll be able to see when I'm engaged in the plain kick sound, for example. Then I'm going to engage the colored kick sound, and then I'm going to go ahead and move the fader up and down so you can see what the balance is like between the two and how I got to my decision. I'm not going to talk, so you should be able to just bounce around, and it'll be fun for everybody. So let's go ahead and get that started, and I'll see you guys at the end. So there you can go ahead and click around and just explore yourself, but you could definitely hear that there was a big change when it came to using the colored version of the drum and the normal version of the drum. In the overhead, you even heard some crazy phasiness whenever they got to around the same volume level. Whenever they were about as loud as the other, they really clashed. Again, normal phase stuff. With the balance I have, it's really not audible, but when you line these things up in terms of volume, they almost cancel each other out. So something to keep in mind, but that comes with any time you're inserting hardware in Pro Tools. The delay compensation can be a bitch to get down perfectly. So, but I feel like with the overheads in particular, I was able to get a decent enough blend for this particular example that it worked. For the snare, I really felt like it cracked a whole lot more. The toms kind of broke up in this nice way. I used CTX and the 15 Ips to really give it kind of like an 8-bit feel sometimes. You know, the ringiness really sounded nice. I love that in each tom. The floor tom really crushed, and it's labeled Tom 4 here, but they really got nice and crushed. I'm actually not a huge hi-hat fan, being crazy loud. I feel like the color module helped me get there by kind of thinning things out just a hair, and I was able to blend that in just enough so that it slipped right under the other hi-hat and really thinned it out nicely. So I'm very, very happy with that. All in all, the color module is great. I hope you guys have time to explore. It's really, really easy to put together. I have 2 modules that I put together, and the support at DIY Recording Equipment is just incredible. So I hope to get with you guys soon, have some great new content, some great new mixes. I can hopefully provide some whole sessions over so you guys can mess with and see what you get. But just gonna sign off for now. Again, this is Josh Valencia, and I hope you guys like it. Bye-bye.